Today on Public Eye News, Governor Gretchen Whitmer defends her controversial appearance at President Trump's press conference. But first, we'll have everything you need to know about the progress of roads reopening after the ice storm.
Coming up, Reed Hall will have your weather forecast, where we'll look into conditions for the next couple days. Later, he will also bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Dylan Dubé.
And I'm Liam Yulen-Joy. This is Public Eye News. The DNR has announced a new online resource that allows Michiganders to track road accessibility in the aftermath of a devastating ice storm. It is a digital map showing which roads have been cleared of debris by the DNR, Michigan National Guard, and other groups. Keith Murphy, operations chief for the DNR Incident Management Team, said, quote, "The map is a tool people can use to find clear routes to their destinations, providing options to keep them and their loved ones safe," end quote. The new map can be accessed on the MSP website and will be routinely updated as roads continue to be assessed. And authorities are preparing for prescribed fire operations on the Hiawatha and Ottawa National Forests. These are designed to remove hazardous vegetation and mitigate wildfires, which in turn prevents loss of property. The affected area includes 7,042 acres on the east zone and 3,248 acres on the west zone of the Hiawatha National Forest. Also covered, 587 acres on the Ottawa National Forest. You can contact your nearest ranger district to be notified about prescribed fires near you.
A part of a street in downtown Escanaba will be closed for all traffic. The 100 block of Ludington, which had recently been shut down, is scheduled to be closed until April 16th as equipment and materials are being mobilized for the lift station project. The lift station project is in the process of building dewatering wells on the east end of Ludington Street in Escanaba as a means to keep groundwater out. The city of Escanaba says to expect some delays and to avoid this area if possible as workers continue to build the wells as planned. And Daniel and Pamela DeVos have donated $2 million to Northern Michigan University through their foundation, continuing their long-standing philanthropic support. Half of the gift will bolster the DeVos Art Museum's endowment, while the other half will aid in developing an NMU Arts District to benefit both the university and the Marquette community. The couple expressed their enthusiasm for supporting arts and culture and the museum's lasting impact. NMU leaders, including President Brock Tessman and NMU Foundation CEO Brad Canale, praised the donation as transformative. And NMU's theater and dance program presents Jesus Christ Superstar. The timeless rock opera follows the last week of Jesus' life and is seen through the eyes of Judas. Told entirely through song, the 2-hour event details the personal relationships and struggles between Jesus, Judas, Mary Magdalene, his disciples, his followers, and the Roman Empire. Jesus Christ Superstar is meant for mature audiences, and the opening performance of the play will begin at 7:30 p.m. at Forrest Roberts Theater. Show dates are Thursday through Saturday, April 10th through April 12th, and April 17th through April 19th. Tickets are able to be purchased online at NMU's Theater and Dance website. And today, President Donald Trump is meeting with his cabinet at the White House. This is just a day after he pressed pause on his punishing reciprocal tariffs against most countries except China. Jared Hill has more from CBS News New York. Take a look.
Wednesday's Wall Street rally rippled across the world. This morning, global markets opened much higher after President Trump paused his punishing tariffs for at least 90 days. The decision less than 24 hours after they kicked in.
The bond market right now is beautiful. But yeah, I saw last night where people were getting a little queasy.
Acknowledging investor unease was linked to his decision. The baseline tariff now 10%. The White House says up to 70 countries are pushing for talks, but China is retaliating, upping their tariff on U.S. goods to 84%. President Trump hit back with a 125% tax on Chinese imports.
China continues to retaliate. Other countries didn't retaliate.
Minnesota soybean farmer Bob Worth hopes the trade war ends quickly. He sells most of his crop to China.
Our president will get something done that we'll be very happy with at the end. But it sure is stressful.
While farmers wait to sell, tariffs have prompted some iPhone shoppers to stock up.
I figure I'd get in before the prices went up.
Ahead of yesterday's pause, the European Union announced its own 25% tariff on some U.S. goods starting next week. This morning, they announced a 90-day pause as well. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now don't touch that dial. Reed will be right back with your weather report after this short break. Stay tuned.
In the fourth year of Changing Planet, we are focusing on two of the largest river restoration projects ever attempted.
What?
One urban,
The River Seine is undergoing a colossal detox.
one wild and remote.
These dams will be completely gone within a matter of months.
Everyone knows there's hope. It's big.
These are stories of ambition and action for our changing planet.
Welcome back. I'm Reed Hall here with your Public Eye News weather update. Taking a look behind me at our academic mall, seems like most of the snow is melted from our latest snowstorm and the clouds are finally dissipating and we're seeing some sun emerge from behind them. If we take a look at the Upper Peninsula, a pretty cloudy day overall, a little bit of sun peeking out in the Sioux and here in Marquette. If we start up in Houghton, it is 48 degrees. Out in Ironwood, it is 42. It is also 42 degrees in Iron Mountain. And in Menominee, it is 44. If we take a look towards the east side of the UP, Escanaba is also 42. Manistee is the coldest at 39. The Sioux is 41, and lovely Marquette is 40 degrees. If we take a look at our current conditions, winds are out of the east-northeast at 8 miles an hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.20 inches and rising. If we take a look into tonight, the partly cloudy conditions will persist. We'll have a low of 27. Our winds will be out of the north-northwest at 6 miles an hour, and our moon phase is a waxing gibbous. Taking a look into tomorrow, we'll have mostly sunny conditions with a high of 45, a low of 32, and our winds are out of the north-northeast at 6 miles an hour. Now, if we take a look into the weekend and into Monday, Saturday, our warmest temperatures yet at 56, a low of 40, and partly cloudy skies. Sunday, it'll be a high of 48. We'll have some rain move in with a low of 30. And on Monday, that rain will persist. We'll have a high of 47 and a low of 29. That's all the weather I have. Back to the news desk.
Well, thanks for that weather report, Reed. We love to see the sun coming out from behind the clouds in beautiful Marquette. But now it's time for some statewide news, starting with this. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has received criticism on both sides of the aisle after giving a speech on economic policy at the White House. She spoke about the state of Michigan manufacturing and controversially emphasized points of agreement between herself and President Donald Trump. Her remarks drew criticism from Democrats and Michigan Republican and gubernatorial hopeful Eric Nesbitt, who criticized Whitmer's speech, saying, quote, "This Washington speech was just another selfie moment for her," end quote. President Trump also signed an executive memo alleging 2020 election fraud.
It said you didn't know he was going to sign that.
And my presence was not an endorsement of any of the actions he took or the comments that were made.
That was Governor Whitmer's response in a presser here in Michigan. And Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is giving oral arguments before the state Supreme Court today. She is speaking on the case People v. Carson, which deals with cell phone search warrants. The case concerns Michael Carson, a man convicted of multiple felonies related to theft of almost $70,000. Those convictions were later overturned when Carson appealed, saying his counsel should have challenged the validity of a phone search warrant. AG Nessel is now asking the Michigan Supreme Court to review the case. She says the lower court that overturned Carson's convictions made several errors. Whatever the result of People v. Carson, this case will have profound implications for how Michigan authorities handle phone search warrants. And a Los Angeles ballet dancer has been released from a Russian jail in a prisoner swap after being sentenced to 12 years behind bars for treason. Let's head over to CBS's Ramy Inocencio with more.
And her name is Ksenia Karolina, and her lawyer has confirmed to CBS News that she is now safe in U.S. care. Last August, she was sentenced to 12 years in a Russian prison, and that was for making a donation of only about $50 to a U.S.-based charity that supports Ukraine. She made that donation while home in Los Angeles. That was right after Russia invaded Ukraine. Then she was arrested last year while visiting her family in Russia. Earlier today, we now know she was freed through a prisoner swap. That was in Abu Dhabi, and according to the Wall Street Journal, the U.S. freed a dual Russian-German citizen. His name, Arthur Petrov, and he had been arrested for allegedly exporting sensitive microelectronics. Secretary of State Marco Rubio posted that Karolina was wrongfully detained by Russia and that President Trump will keep working to release all Americans. And this comes 2 months after Russia swapped American teacher Mark Fogel for another Russian citizen. Now at least 9 other Americans are believed to still be detained in Russia. Ramy Inocencio, CBS News, London.
After this short break, we will be back with a sports report you won't want to miss.
1, 2, 3.
A change is happening.
Let the groove take over. which is perfect.
The age of discovery is now.
When you hear it, you know what it is.
I am quite overwhelmed.
It's a joy to be in this world.
Welcome back. I'm here this time with today's sports update. There's a new man on campus in the Sioux after Lake Superior State announced the hiring of Eric Snyder as the next head coach of women's volleyball. The change comes after the Lakers went just 7-20 and 2-14 in GLIAC play a season ago. Snyder boasts 20 years of experience and a head coaching record of 290 wins and 197 losses across all levels, winning multiple conference titles and an NCCAA national championship in 2020. Snyder's most recent head coaching stint came with the men's team at North Carolina Wilmington, and before that started Bethel University's men's program from scratch. And back here at NMU, where Elise Wolfrath was named GLIAC Outdoor Track Athlete of the Week. This accolade comes after Wolfrath set the NMU school record during the prelim round of the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 13.82 seconds.
And she just like shot out of the blocks, and I mean, it was amazing. And I was around some of the other teams, and everybody was like, whoa, you know, and she's just going to keep getting better the rest of the season. So be exciting to see what she can do.
That was head coach Jenny Ryan. She'll take the Wildcats back to Wisconsin this weekend for the Titan Invitational, hosted by UW Oshkosh. The Wildcats will look to continue their outdoor success with fair weather in the cards for this weekend. Like always, you can track the action by following NMU Athletics or Track and Field on social media. And puck drop for the Frozen Four is set for tonight when defending champion Denver faces first-timer Western Michigan University. Western enters play tonight as the lone 1 seed left in the championship tournament thanks to a current 8-game winning streak. Although favorites tonight, Denver does control the all-time record, winning 26 of the 41 matchups. Once an NMU commit, freshman goalie Hampton Slakinski has been a mainstay for the Broncos during their run, allowing just 16 goals over the last 8. And to add a little more salt to the wound for Wildcat fans, former Wildcat Grant Slakinski will also suit up for the Broncos tonight after coming off his best collegiate season so far, scoring 27 more points than a season ago. That's all the sports I have. Back to the news desk.
Thanks for that sports breakdown, Reed. And how about that Elise Wolfrath?
Incredible work, honestly. I'd love to see her at work. I hope she brings that fast energy to the Invitational this weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
But I hear you have some more stories for us today, Dylan.
That I do. Let's jump right in. The Peter White Public Library and the City of Marquette Office of Arts and Culture will host a free public reception today from 6 to 8 p.m. to celebrate new exhibits featuring local artists and student work. On display through May, the exhibits include Patterns of Connection by Knotwork Studio and What Makes You You by Artists in Excellence students. And tonight, the Peter White Public Library will be hosting a poetry circle from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Join local poets, writers, and fellow poetry enjoyers for an evening of creative literature. The event will be held in the library's Shiras room, and attendance is free of charge for all ages.
Gosh, that sounds so fun. We love to see creative writing and poetry stuff happening around Marquette. Does that sound interesting to you, Dylan? I think it's pretty cool.
I've always fancied myself a little bit of Sylvia Plath.
Oh, excellent. Okay, I've always enjoyed a little bit of poetry too. Personally, I've been getting more into it lately. So if I was free, I'd absolutely go to this poetry circle, hoping they have more of it in the future.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to see sort of arts and culture events in the Peter White Public Library. There's always fun events going on there. I know I'm always being tuned in. But that's all the time we have left today at Public Eye News. I'm Liam Yulin-Joy.
And I'm Dylan Dubé.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.